Did you know some of the richest and most famous slave owners were black? Here are the top 5.
I'm gonna explain something to y'all because y'all have a misconception of what slavery means. Like y'all truly do, like the true meaning of what slavery means, like, and what slavery is. And I'm gonna try to explain this to you by telling you that slavery is the first currency. Yeah, you hear that? Slavery is the first currency. No, do you understand what that truly means? That slavery is the first currency. I'm gonna give you time to think of what slavery, how slavery is the first currency. Now you gotta leave this time and era and think about the times they lived in. They lived in a barter system. They lived in a barter system, a borrow system, or it was hunting and gathering. A barter system or hunting and gathering. In those kind of systems, it wouldn't fit to have a slave. There would be no need to have a slave, because they're hunting and gathering themselves. So what would a hunter and gathering people need with a slave? In a barter system, you could kind of need a slave. It's a barter system. So that means you have stuff for trade. And okay, so say if you would come up with a new invention like farming. You come up with farming, that's your new invention. And it's only like you, your wife, and your kids that's doing this farming. Along comes a man and he asks you, hey, what are y'all doing here? Oh, we're farming. Oh, okay. Bam, he comes back another year doing harvest season. He sees these people and he talks to them again because he remembers them. And he's like, hey, what's up, man? I remember you last time. Man, whoa, I remember you was digging in the dirt, putting seeds and stuff in there and pulling them out your mouth and putting them in the dirt. I thought y'all was crazy. This is what y'all have. Okay. Apples and oranges and, okay. Oh, and you got goats back there. You have sheeps back there. You have chickens. Can you tell me how did you do this? How do you, oh man, oh no, it's God. It's this, it's that. Anything but telling you how they did it. Why would they? Or even explain it to you. But anyway, they explain it to you, you're not gonna know how to do it just off of them explaining it to you. Gathering the resources. They already have the resources. They already have everything you need. How much for one of those chickens? Can't be asked because there's no currency. You have nothing to borrow from. They was like, oh, can I give you, I can give you something for it. But what if you have nothing to give these people for that goat, for a couple bags of apples? You gonna offer labor. You're not gonna work labor for 5 apples, are you? And a couple bags of oranges, are you? And definitely you're not gonna get a sheep out of a few hours of work. Most of y'all don't read the Bible, but a lot of y'all know the stories of the Bible. For this right here, I'm gonna use the Bible for example. Something that y'all know that to be true. That what this is said, because most of y'all heard this story before. I don't get into names and all that because that's not my thing. Most of y'all know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna hit about, I'm gonna try to stay, give y'all, a good image of who I'm talking about. But anyway, he went to go work for his uncle And in the Bible it said that he worked for his uncle. He got a goat, some sheep, and whatever kind of animals they had at his uncle's farm. At this farm now, he ended up getting 2 wives and he snuck out. Y'all remember this story I'm talking about? All right. I don't got time to Google to look it up, none of that. Y'all should know this story if you read the Bible. And he snuck out with the wife and he left. With his wife and kids, and he left through the night. But anyway, see, that right there shows you that he sold himself into slavery. Because he had nothing to offer. He just left his dad's house, which is crazy. I don't know, what was his dad doing? Why his dad didn't have a couple goats and sheep? But anyway, that's why, you know. But he went over here had to go to his uncle for some reason. I don't know. So he went over here to his uncle to get what? He had to sell himself into slavery for how many years? Whatever years. You should know because y'all read the Bible. So he was in slavery with his uncle for how many years? And his uncle was trying to trick him into more slavery. But eventually he got himself free. Now, also in the Bible, too, it covers in there again. I'm going to give you a roundabout of the story, and you should know where it tells you this in the Bible, where God says, your God says that if you love your master, it's okay. Stay with him. Cut your hair, put an earring in, and stay with him and say, oh, I love my master. Most of y'all know that story. You should know that story. And I know I kind of you should know where I'm hitting, what I'm talking about. So with him telling them that, like, imagine that now. Why wouldn't a person stay? You didn't got 5 goats. You can keep the goats because they all yours basically. And then you didn't already married into his wife. You already married into his family with two wives with the daughters. Like, come on. Why wouldn't you stay? You can have it your way. Basically, when he passed away, it really probably end up being yours anyway. Or his son or something like that. It might happen. You might get jugged out the situation and now you're stuck there, but you can still decide to walk away after he dies. You owe him nothing. My whole point of bringing that up is showing you that you can sell yourself into slavery, and to also show you that slavery is the first currency. In a bartering system, we start from hunting, gathering, and then bartering. The only way we got the bartering is by farming, which women created agriculture. Yeah, women created agriculture. We had no time to be sitting there raising no geese and ducks and stuff. We had no time for that. We had no time to be sitting there planting seeds and watching that grow and understanding how that came about. Sometimes we'll be gone hunting for like hours. The man will be gone hunting for hours, following the game and trying to track him down and kill him. Kill the animal. You know what I'm saying? So we had no time for that. Again, it shows again, you know, we ain't had what we gonna need the slave to do. We gonna leave them at the home with our wives while we out here hunting and gathering? Like, come on. We had no room for slavery. In the bartering system, yes. Only because, you know, you might not have nothing the person wants. So you will sell yourself into slavery. You will find this in Europeans too, but in their history, like modern history, you know, because their history is pretty modern. You know, they have older history, but they call it the Dark Ages. But most of this modern history, you know, and you can find that in theirs too. Like most of the craftsman skills are inherited by the father. So much so they believe like it's like a spiritual thing. If your dad does that, you automatically you're gonna inherit it. You know, God's gonna inherit you with that skill. Like, you know, they didn't work it into their beliefs and weaved it into the Bible. You know, to find a reason for it to being that way. Like, yeah, you know, like Benjamin Franklin's dad was a carpenter. He didn't want to be a carpenter. You know,
my bad.
He didn't want to do that. He wanted to do the stuff he wanted to do. That's why, you know, he set up like the Constitution for a lot of that, for him to be able to do that, like to be free. But anyway, I also bring this up too Because explain, why would a black man enslave another black man after just being enslaved? Because he didn't take it personal. Why would he take it personal? After I just explained to you what slavery is and how you look at slavery as being part of a barter system, why would he take that personal and then feel some kind of way, especially when he could turn around and do it to others? He wouldn't have felt no way. Now people gonna rile up and like, oh yeah, see, you know, it's nothing wrong with slavery. You're right, it's nothing wrong with slavery, but it's something wrong with forced slavery. That's the part. That's what we're fighting about. That's what we should care about. It's the force. We didn't get a choice to choose to do whatever the hell we want. We was brought over here and forced into it. Now, if they would have gave us will and said, yeah, man, look, like how the Bible set it up, yeah, y'all work for free, do what y'all got to do to get this economy like where it is today, you know, yeah, we could go ahead and pay y'all boats after this many years. Like how they set it up in the Bible with dude getting those goats and sheeps from his uncle and the wife. Like, yeah, so what really is what's owed. To make us whole again, because we was forced into it. That's what makes it crazy. That man was put in a position, that's all he could do. That he was also forced into slavery. Never mind that he found a way out of it, and how he found a way out of it, and what he did after it. It's not even his fault, because that still relies on the government. The government sanctioned it. The government said it's okay. So to understand why he did what he did is understandable. Another reason, color means nothing. When the whole world at one point in time was black, the color means nothing when you're living on a continent where the whole people is black. Why would it? Everybody's black. Like Denzel Washington said, the only thing bonds people together is culture. Culture. Africa has thousands of different cultures, live billions of different ways over the existence of human beings. You understand? They lived all kinds of ways. They have many different languages, many ideas of gods and how things came about. They say people can't live amongst themselves like that, but Africa did and was. Because they understand you could believe what you want, so much so. Because when I come to your country, where y'all are at, did you understand that they pray to those people gods? They don't come over there and trespass on them people gods. That's how they did it. When I'm in your land, I pray to your God. When you in my land, oh yes, my God welcomes you. You pray to our God. We'll tell you his name. We'll tell you what you need to get over here to make it over here. We'll give you these charms. We didn't do that. Culture is meant to be shared. This theology is a Western theology. They think that culture is just minds and alone, and you can't ruin it. That's their theology. That's religion. And they tied it in with religion. In Africa, it was not like that. We shared each other's culture. This is not me saying it. If you pick up a history book, you would know it. You probably even read it and overlooked at it and didn't even put it two together. Those people shared cultures. When they come into your land, they're going to ask you what your God is and who should we pray to and who should we watch out for. Because they know, they believe the gods are real. Man, wake up, people. Stop letting them tell our history. Start thinking their theology is our theology. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you hearing me out, giving me a moment of your time. I ain't gonna try to take up too much more. But I appreciate y'all though, you know, hearing me out, making it this far. So I like to ask y'all for one more thing though. Can y'all hit me with the subscribes and the likes, even if you disagree with what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to go at Dr. Umar and your Queen Makers and your Jordan Petersons and all these so-called leaders and all this whatever, man. That's who I'm trying to go. I'm trying to have scholars on my plate. I ain't got no interest in going having no conversation with no D.L. Hughley or no Steve Harvey. Like, come on, man. Steve Harvey's a dodo brain. Like, what can we really talk about here? Like, come on, like, knock that off. Like, it'll be for real though. Like, I like y'all to hit me up with those subscribes and some likes, man, for I can really show you what it's about. Shake up this shit, man.